Lesson, we saw how the zygote divides by mitosis. So hopefully you remember all the phases of that. We're going to pick up where we left off on that. Here is the zygote, and it is going to divide, and now we have this big blob of cells. They're all exactly like the same DNA, and if we all looked like that, then this would be enough. But we are not big blobs flopping around looking like that. So something really cool must happen at this point to have us become really cute looking babies. So here's the overall picture of where we're going. We got the sperm and the egg come together to make the zygote. There's that. And then here you see where it looks like just a whole bunch of those. So where we're going now is to see how does this become that. We're going to see what this is, and then that becomes the baby. So what I want to show you is how this works. These are the initial cells as the zygote is growing. So they're going to receive a chemical. They're going to start actually delegating jobs to each other. They're going to receive chemical signals. So they will do different jobs. So some of these cells will move to a different location in the body and become intestinal cells. Others will delegate a different job to become liver and cardiac muscles and cardiac cells and muscles and blood cells, all those different things. So a delegation by chemical signals is going to happen. So that is called cell differentiation. Here's how it actually does that. Here's the chemical signals that it receives. Remember, every cell that was just divided in that big blob of cells has the exact same DNA. But only certain sections of the DNA in each cell in that blob will be used. So let's say maybe one cell needs to become skin cells. Well, maybe this small portion here would be turned on, kind of like a light switch. It would activate this section, and then that would go on to become certain proteins to be skin cells. Another cell that has the same DNA, maybe it needs to become a liver cell. Well, it would only turn on this little section of DNA. So that's called DNA activation, where it's only going to turn on certain sections of that DNA so that it can become different types of cells. So here's what it looks like. You have this big blob of cells, and they color code it to make it look nice. Kind of zoom in on that. This is from that PowerPoint that I put on there for you too. So you have this blue section of cells. They have kind of delegated themselves to be called ectoderm. Ecto is a prefix meaning outside. So it's going to become your skin. It'll also be your brain. You have kind of a smaller little section in red here. It's going to become the mesoderm. Meso means middle. So you got muscles and bones, kidneys and blood, all the middle kind of stuff in your body. And then you got this orangey color, that is the endoderm. Endo means the inside. So the gut, the liver, the lungs, a lot of the organs are going to go from these delegated cells. So to me, this is like the coolest thing ever. Like cells are communicating with each other chemically to get certain jobs done. Kind of like people do with doing their jobs. So this is what it's getting at. This really weird looking thing here is color coded with the 3 layers, which are these. So this is another picture that tells you what each layer of delegated cells will become in the baby. And this kind of shows it piece by piece. But 3 germ layers are now formed from this cell differentiation. Now I'm going to kind of show you what you're going to do with this in a gizmo. And now I have logged in to Explore Learning, and I'm just searching up embryo development. Different things come up. I think initially this is what you see on the compare tab, but we're going to go here to the differentiation tab because we're going to play around with this thing. It's going to give us some pretty good summaries of what I just went over with y'all. And so there's a document that's in the next assignment that you're going to pull up and just do. But all you're doing is observing this zygote through the steps as you hit start and continue. There's information that comes here. Make sure you have clicked this summary tab and you can just kind of read the steps. We're not going to get technical with all of the terms here like you see on the bottom, morulation and blastula and all that stuff. You can get to that if you take another class, but we are going to focus on the big picture here of how one single cell divides to become a complex, specialized organism like us. This one actually will make a gorilla by the time we get to the end. So good luck with that, and make sure you email me or text me on Ramon if you have questions.